The Indian Constitution ensures every village to be governed by its village panchayat. Why shouldn't the villagers make their own development plan? Here, we show how a participatory land use plan can be done for a village in India or in any other country like India. There are 8 steps to achieve this. But remember, only the participation of all the villagers can make it successful. Transect Walk. This is a walk with the villagers to understand land use in the village and around. Gather as many villagers as possible and explain the objective of this participatory process. Go for a walk with them. Take a route that covers main variations in topography, land use, and other features. Try to define different land use zones and how they relate to each other. Ask key questions like, where are the basic resources like water or fodder for livestock? What are the issues with these resources? Where do different communities, subgroups live? How different areas can be utilized? Observe everything. Interview villagers you meet along the way. Get their perspectives. Note all vital information gathered. Draw sketches if needed. Goal-free discussion. Goal-free discussion allows everyone to discuss any issue the villagers face in the village and in their lives. The discussion should explore their situation and all functionalities the space provides. Leading questions can be, what needs to be improved in the village? How do they respond to adverse situation? How many problems can be solved by the villagers themselves? And how much should be done by the government? Write down the key points of the discussion in a way so that everyone can see it and summarize the discussion at the end. Timeline. The step on timeline is about the most important events which happened in the village in recent times and how they affected their lives and livelihood. These events can be man-made, natural disaster, or political. It is important to note if these events have left the villagers more vulnerable or strengthened the community. Ask the participants to write down important events of the last 30 to 50 years. Write each event on single flashcard. Note the year and season of each event. Organize them in a timeline in order of occurrence. There are a few events and issues which are discussed commonly. They are availability of land after disaster, status of irrigation and weather variability, quantum of inputs like fertilizer and pesticides used, cropping practices, agricultural market and marketing opportunities. Social map. The social map is an illustration of the spatial structure of the village, denoting inhabitants and infrastructure. This is not just a physical map. This map has to show relationship between all villagers and infrastructures available so that the social composition is revealed. This is a map, so start with direction. Mark north, south, east and west. Draw the boundaries of the village. Show the roads, streams or rivers running through the village. Mark all infrastructures of the village such as drinking water sources, schools, hospitals, primary health centers, post office, places of worship, bridges, cyclone shelters and more. Locate all the houses in the village in the map. Mark number of adults, both men and women, number of children, both boys and girls in each house. To get a complete picture, get total number of families. Don't leave a single family out of the map. Highlight the households which are socially or economically vulnerable in a different color. Now start coloring various infrastructures in terms of who's accessing and who is excluded. After the map is made, analyze it and discuss in detail. This way, the social map will reveal the power structure in a village and identify vulnerable communities. Resource map. A resource map is done to understand the locations and access to all economic resources of the village. Resources may lie outside the village boundary, so this map should be drawn in a smaller scale than the social map so that all things outside the village can be included. First, draw the boundaries of the village. Then identify various resources like agricultural land, water bodies, forests, mining areas, markets. It is important to show directions of neighboring towns and roads from the boundaries of the village. When finished, discuss if the resources are accessible by all. Are they beneficial to everybody? Are they meant for few privileged families? Are these resources abundant or scarce? Analyze the reasons. Discussions around the resource map should reveal existence of inequality and controlling positions in accessing the resources in the village. Problem tree. The problem tree helps to understand the logical connection between problems in the village, especially the issues around land. Get the participants to list out all the problems with special focus on land-related issues. Draw a tree, like a real tree with roots, a trunk, and a crown. Ensure enough space around the tree for writing. Now, arrange each problem with its cause and effect. Place the causes in the roots, problem in the trunk, and effects in crown. Make different trees for different independent problems. For example, a tree of water-related problems, another for access to land, and so on. Use the problem tree to find out solutions. Encourage participants to make smart judgment about when to address causes and when it's reasonable to focus on effects. Venn diagram. The Venn diagram helps to identify various government institutions and community-based organizations, their roles and relationship with the village community. Participants should identify institutions and organizations which are responsible for their issues and well-being, especially regarding natural disaster, agriculture, and land. Arrange these institutions around village according to their locations. These institutions can be represented as circles or house shapes. Indicate the distance between them and the village. Discuss about the usefulness of these institutions in the past. Also list out the contact persons in each of these institutions for recent and future issues that need resolving. The Venn diagram should clarify if villagers can access the services these institutions are supposed to provide. Dream map. Dream map describes the aspiration of the village in the next 5 to 10 years. Share the social and resource map created with the participants. They should rework the map according to changes they want to see in the village and in surrounding areas in the next 5 to 10 years. Create a priority list of dreams. Ensure that the dreams of the vulnerable communities get priority. Make sure that they speak up. Discuss how to realize these dreams. How much can be done by themselves and how much of remaining dreams need institutional help. Use the Venn diagram to decide this. Remember, there are 8 steps to achieve this. They are: Step 1. Transect walk. Step 2. Goal-free discussion. Step 3. Timeline. Step 4. Social map. Step 5. Resource map. Step 6. Problem tree. Step 7. Venn diagram. Step 8. Dream map. A few important points. Be realistic. Take into account the embedded inequality and power gap among the villagers. It may be beneficial in critical moments to involve men, women, powerful, powerless, rich and poor to engage with separately. Participation is the core of this exercise. Get as many villagers as possible. People who cannot be present in all the exercises should be informed about the ones they missed. The process should be explained properly so that all participants understand it and make informed decisions. Maps and trees are better to be drawn on the ground in large scale so that many people can take part simultaneously. However, all work should be transferred finally to a format that is durable and preserved. Help villagers to be their own masters. It is guaranteed by the Indian Constitution.